we're live again. All right. So what's up, everybody? What's up, Facebook? Today, we're missing JB, who's my normal cohort, and we have Vicky Sullivan from Payability. And Payability is a really kind of well-known service in the Amazon space. They do their big kind of flagship product is they do daily payouts. So especially like in for your Amazon account. So especially like in fourth quarter when you're trying to capitalize on the most revenue creating place in the on your calendar, they're getting you money every day, so you don't have to wait for weekly payments or bi-weekly payments, which is cool because you don't want to stock out inventory and all that cool stuff. Payability is fairly new, right, Vicky?
Yeah, we've been with Amazon for about 2 years.
2 years, so that's fairly new. And you guys just paid out your billionth dollar, correct?
Yeah, we've done $1 billion in accelerated payments over the last 2 years.
That's awesome. And I know nothing about finance or banking, but I know that means that you guys must be doing something right to share that much or to have that much business to be able to give that much money out to people. So that's not give it, but to pay that out. So that's huge. So congratulations. But I don't have you on here to talk about Payability. I have you on here for another reason, and that's to talk about brand influencing. So anybody that's listening to this, part of the Private Label Legion, the leaders, they're interested in creating a brand, creating a product, creating a business that works well for them, that is, long-term sustainable. They can sell it. And I really, really push the idea of building a brand instead of just launching ambiguous private label stickered products to sell on Amazon. So, Vicky, you have a really unique perspective of what I'm talking about. One is because you work with literally thousands of Amazon FBA sellers that are trying to get kind of leveled up from the RA and OA and wholesale into private label and brand building. So you have this really unique perspective, but you also have a lot of expertise in brand influencing, which is what I want to pick your brain about. And just so you guys know, Vicky, where did I meet you? I was going to talk about where I met you. I met you at a conference. Was it?
It was at Midwest Ecom.
Midwest Ecom in Indianapolis. No, Minneapolis. Right. Minneapolis. And then followed up, last month at CES, Jim Cockrum CES in Indianapolis this time. Yeah. And you and I got to see each other at the show, but we also sat on a couch for like 3 hours one night just talking about everything from your upcoming wedding to business to all that good stuff. So any of you that are thinking about going to conferences and don't, you need to be, because relationships are huge. And I get to meet awesome people like Vicky that, if I just saw her at a booth and was like, oh, she's the Payability chick, who knew that she had such a wealth of knowledge about brand influencing? So Vicky, we kind of went over your resume about brand influencing, and here's the highlights I have. You've been a blogger for over 10 years. You've worked with over 50 brands to influence their brands and help them, and some of them have paid you directly, and then a lot of them, the influencers don't pay you directly, but you make your money by getting traffic to your channel and then making money on affiliate links. Is that a pretty accurate statement?
Yeah, it's pretty accurate. Yeah.
Pretty accurate summary. All right. So do you want to give a little bit more lengthy detail on your quote unquote, I won't say resume, but experience as a brand influencer? Because, everybody that's listening needs to kind of know where you're coming from.
Yeah. So about 10 years ago, I founded the blog aspiringsocialite.com. A fun way to express myself. And it's been an awesome experience. I've gotten to go to events that I never would have otherwise gone to, like New York Fashion Week and in different influencer events here in New York City.
Hey, question. Were you at New York Fashion Week this year?
No, not this year. I was at a wedding. But
oh, man. I was going to ask you if you got to see the grandioso knockdown drag-out fight between Nicki Minaj and Cardi B.
Yeah, I'm sad I missed that. Yeah, I was getting alerts on my phone when I was at the wedding about it.
now, be honest with me. Are you shocked that I even know the names Nicki Minaj and Cardi B? And are you even more shocked that I knew that they got into a fight at New York Fashion Week?
I am kind of shocked.
Yeah. Man of many knowledge pieces. I wish I could think of a better way to say that. Knowledge pieces, that random knowledge. I'm kind of like Shrek, aka an onion with many layers to peel back. And Cardi B and Nicki Minaj are on my radar, believe it or not. All right. So anyways, just got completely sidetracked. So you've been doing blogging. You've gone to cool events. you make money through a couple different ways by influencing these brands, whether they pay you up front or you make money on the back end. And what channels have you been using? You said a blog. What other channels do you use?
Yeah, so aside from my WordPress blog, which is aspiringsocialite.com, check it out. I also am big on trying to grow my Instagram following and on Facebook and Twitter as well.
Gotcha. So what I want to get to is I have a bunch of questions for you because I'll be honest, I don't know much about brand influencers and how to use those in my own business and our clients' business. And with what we're doing, I know that it's a big part of the overall strategy, especially in trying to get traffic from external places, not Amazon, and driving that traffic to my website or straight to my Amazon listing is fine. So what I want to do is you have this understanding of how Amazon FBA works because you work at Payability. You have an understanding based on relationships with thousands of Amazon FBA sellers, but you also have this relationship with and this knowledge of brand influencing and stuff like that. So what I want to do is, where I'm coming from, where our listeners are coming from as far as brand builders. So I'm going to ask you some questions specifically about how we can use brand influencers like yourself or other people. And you can kind of direct those questions back to us with the understanding that, hey, most of us are Amazon sellers that are trying to build a brand. Does that work?
Yeah, sounds great.
All right. So give me like a play-by-play first action step if I wanted to kind of dabble and get my feet wet in brand influencing. All right. I wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to reach out and get into the brand influencer, market. Reach out to it. What do they do?
So I wouldn't start out right away by paying people or going to one of those huge, expensive influencer agencies. You can obviously do that later as your brand grows and as you see the influencer thing really working for you. I would go out and make a list of influencers you think really fit your brand and really fit your customer and kind of share your vision, because they're also looking for brands to work with that share their vision too and that really fit with their audience, regardless if they're getting paid or not.
And where are they looking? So you say go out and look for those. I know nothing about it. Like, I'm going to get on my computer and find an influencer. What do I start doing?
So yeah, I would look on Instagram, search certain hashtags that you think work for your brand. I would also you can Google things like, fashion blogger, eco-friendly fashion blogger, or home blogger if it's a home goods type item. General terms like that, and just start looking for people that way too. You can also search that way on Instagram as well.
And John's asking, do you look for them manually? So literally, I guess to answer that question would be kind of, you're just jumping into like Instagram and you're hashtagging or searching for hashtags that are relevant to kind of the product that I'm trying to launch, and just find people that have a lot of followers. Is that what I'm doing?
Big following is definitely important. You want to get your products in front of as many eyeballs as you can. But it's not everything. There are plenty of people who have a lot of followers that might be fake, or even people who don't have fake followers. They're not necessarily as influential on those people. As you would think. So there are plenty of people that have, maybe 10K followers where everybody really cares about what they say and are going to drive more sales for you than somebody who has like 100,000 followers that really aren't as passionate about them. So you're going to want to look for engagement over following.
Okay.
Getting a lot of comments and getting a lot of likes in their photos.
So quality of the influencers over quantity. So let's say, all right, you're getting married here soon, right? So let's say, so you're in that space right now. So walk me through this. You have a product that will fit well into the wedding space. I don't know, a cake topper. Okay. And you're reaching out for an influencer in the wedding space. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you get on Instagram, what kind of hashtags would you be looking for a cake wedding topper that you're launching on Amazon?
So I would look at hashtags like wedding cake, wedding ring, wedding tips, wedding planning, and see who is consistently posting about those.
So literally you don't have to get super creative on the hashtags, just anything related to that industry, and just see who kind of looks like they have their crap together, so to speak. But also, I suspect you're looking for people that probably look a little more professional that, you could reach out and work a business deal with, as opposed to just mountains of followers. Because Kim Kardashian, getting married, obviously is hashtagging that stuff and has a ton of followers. But right off the bat, she's not going to work with you to launch a cake topper, right?
Sure. Mhm.
Okay. So you're just manually searching for those people. And then what do? Let's say you want to reach out to them and say, hey, I see that you're a brand influencer and you can help with my project. So how do you initially reach out to them?
So once you have your list, I would definitely email each one of them. If you have a unique story about your product, as I know a lot of your products that are made in Guatemala have awesome stories behind that. You want to tell that story right away in your initial email. You also, this is really important, you want to offer them a sample of the product right away. I see this all the time with brands that try to work with me, where they want me to cover their product, but they do not want to give me the product. They are too cheap to send me the product, and I will lose interest right there. It's not just
So if I'm trying to launch a product and I get on Instagram and I find potential people, am I sending them a message on Instagram because I might not have their email? Is that the first thing to start off with?
I would say do that as a last resort. So a lot of these influencers do have a lot of messages. And if they're not following you back, they're not necessarily going to be able to see your messages.
Oh, but if they're working as a brand influencer, you should be able to find them just on Google and they should have information. Okay. So if I find someone that has a lot of followers, that's even hashtagging this stuff that might be relevant to my product on Instagram, but I can't find them off of Instagram, it's a good chance they're not really working as an influencer anyways, correct? So I might have a hard time working with them. Is that an accurate assumption?
There are a lot of people who are just Instagram influencers. And a lot of them will have emails readily available if they want to work with brands. So they can have like the email address in their profiles, can't they? I'll personally have the email address in my profile.
Oh, okay.
That's me. But if they don't, I would just maybe comment on one of their photos and tell them how much you enjoy them with like a personal message about why you should work together. But the direct messages, especially for bigger influencers, can be really difficult because if they're not following you back, they're not necessarily going to see it.
So John, she just answered your question, which I've got up there on the screen right now. So I can check in that person's profile. If their email's not there, then I can Google them and see if maybe they have a blog or a website where I can email them. And last resort, I just send them a message through Instagram, but that's kind of last resort.
Yeah, I would do that as a last resort. A lot of them have a link to their profile, to like a profile page or a blog right in their Instagram. So you probably wouldn't even have to Google to find them if that's what you're looking for.
Okay. So if someone is looking or someone is interested in being a influencer for new brands, they should have all that information out to make sure that I can find it fairly easily and contact them to try to work some sort of deal. I mean, it shouldn't be like I'm, taking forever to try to find them if they want to be found. So that shouldn't be a big deal.
Absolutely. And I would just, if you don't see it in their profile description, I would just click the link that they have on their profile, and you should be able to find it there.
Wow, that's huge. I had no idea. So if I were launching a product, needed an influencer, is Instagram the first place that you would look? Is Instagram kind of the hot one right now, would you say?
Yeah, I would say definitely Instagram is kind of the big thing right now. It kind of combines everything about, Pinterest, the discovery aspect of Pinterest with the informational aspect of Twitter, which I think is, why it's really blowing up for brands right now and for influencers as well. People now go on Instagram instead of Pinterest to find ideas for their wedding or clothing,
really?
Or whatnot. So
in Pinterest, you can influence your own thing by setting up a board and all that, but you can't find influencers on Pinterest, really, can you?
There are definitely Pinterest influencers that you can absolutely work with. But Instagram, I think, has the user experience kind of puts the photos right in front of you. Like it's not like a blog where you have to go to their URL to see their photos and check things out. You just kind of sign into the app a few times a day and scroll around. So it really comes to you rather than on Pinterest or a blog where you're kind of more searching for the content you love.
Okay, so my good friend Amanda, sup girl, has a question. Can you use Facebook the same or is Insta better for this? So I'm going to try to answer this. I suspect that Vicky, the answer you're going to say is that Instagram is a little bit easier because search hashtags easier, which are more relevant to the product as opposed to trying to find people on Facebook. Is that probably a correct statement?
Yeah, I would say for influencers, I do find right now that just because Instagram, there are like people who just do Instagram nowadays and they don't have any blog or anything. I would say Instagram is better for this, but you absolutely want people posting on Facebook as well.
Okay. But for searching, spend time on Instagram, it would be hard to find brand influence or harder to find brand influencers on Facebook.
I think definitely Instagram is better for searching, in my opinion.
Okay. So number one, let's say I'm just dabbling. I want to get my feet wet. The number one platform that I want to go to is Instagram. What would you say the number two platform is?
I would say Google and look for people's websites.
Websites and blogs.
Yeah, I would say based on my reward style links, which are the affiliate links I use for different products, and even my friends who have bigger followings, they say that they sell more products off their websites than they do off Instagram right now. So websites are huge for affiliates and that type of thing. So I would just start Googling relevant terms, just like you searched on Instagram.
So you said you use reward styles?
Yeah, I use reward style links. As you build your own Shopify site or something, you might want to look into reward style if you have a fashion or home type product.
Did I spell that correctly?
Yeah, that's correct. It's the same S for rewards and style. So definitely check out. You might want to get your product on there and start getting more influencer kickback. Sorry about that light. I don't know what happened.
That's weird. Tell them in the office to knock it off. We're doing important things here. So reward style is like a service where influencers go to pick up their affiliate links and that stuff. So could I go to reward style, like their website, to find influencers to work with?
Yeah, I think they do have that service as well, where they do find influencers.
Like a matching service?
Yeah.
Have you ever found someone to work with on reward out to you through Insta and your blog and that kind of thing?
I haven't on reward style. I have through other type, not really agencies, but companies that will vet influencers for brands. So you just go you kind of sign up for them and you connect all your social pages and you just apply as you see campaigns that you want to participate in. So I haven't done that. But reward style does have a similar service that you can use. I haven't used it on either side, but yeah, it's great for if you want to start using more affiliates.
Okay, so all right. So I need to understand how influencers get paid, because this is a business transaction between a brand owner and influencer. And my understanding is that there are influencers that you pay up front, just blast my stuff. And generally those are kind of the big dogs. Those are like if I wanted to reach out to Kim Kardashian to launch my poodle grooming kit, right? And I would have to probably pay her a buttload of money to get just one Instagram blast from her. But there are also influencers that make money through affiliate links, which is, I guess, primarily how you do it and primarily how most probably influencers work. And they will blast out, all sorts of links. Those affiliate links can even be Amazon affiliate links. So if someone doesn't even have a website, they just have an Amazon product and it's a good product that someone's willing to, put out there to their audience, you can connect an affiliate link to their product. And then you will actually promote a product just to get paid on the affiliate side, correct?
Yeah, I will. I mean, I do it only for products that really make sense for me and my audience. My rule on that is if I wouldn't be linking back to it already, I'm not necessarily going to use an affiliate link to link back to it to try to make money, because I want to be as authentic as possible. But yeah, getting your products on reward style will definitely be a great way to get influencers to share your products more and to track conversions. But yeah, affiliate links are great. I wouldn't suggest doing your own. I would suggest doing a network like reward style.
Okay, got you.
I'd rather have one aggregate for all my affiliate links than a bunch of little ones.
Yeah. But I can reach out to you and say, hey, I have a product in Amazon FBA, and then you can take care of the rest. You can get the affiliate links set up and all that stuff, right?
Amazon is on reward style. So yeah, you just search for the product on reward style, and then you should find the Amazon link in there.
Okay. So I'm a brand. I want to start reaching out to influencers. What are influencers looking for in a brand that they want to work with?
I'm looking for a natural fit, a brand that really, fits their values and fits their whole aesthetic.
Probably fits their existing audience some.
Existing audience, complementary brand, something that's really complementary. They don't want something coming, way out of left field that really isn't a good fit for them, but you're just reaching out to them because you think they have a lot of followers, or they want your pitch to be well thought out. They want to know that, like, oh, you thought it was a good fit for this, and I totally see why. So, don't try to force it, I would say. Really try to make natural connections and try to find a good fit that way.
So if I were reaching out to you to promote whatever women's lifestyle thing you want to promote, I need to make sure that I have a good enough product and a high enough price point that you're even going to be interested in it, because you don't want to go through the work of setting all this stuff up if you're not going to make affiliate commissions, that's going to be worth your time. So I need to make sure that I have my crap together in my presentation. I need to show you in one snapshot, hey, I've got a good brand story, which is going to give you content to help promote it. I've got, good images. I've got an easy to access affiliate system. So if my product's on Amazon, that's easy for you. Is there anything else that you would be looking for with someone that contacted you to promote their brand?
Yeah, definitely all of the above. I would also want, people to reach out to me for my address to try to send me the product, so I can make sure it's a good fit. Because I want to, I want to try out the product myself, and I want to be promoting a product to my audience with confidence that I genuinely love.
Okay.
I think the worst thing you can do is just be like, send pictures, and if you're just sending pictures, the influencers are probably going to lose interest pretty fast.
Yeah. So one initial thing and offer, hey, give me your address. I'll send you samples today, and get those samples dropped to them. You can even, guys, if you're selling on Amazon, you don't have products in hand, you can do a removal order from Amazon to that influencer's address. Costs you like 30 cents or 20 cents, whatever it is, and just have that shipped straight to them, which is probably cheaper than even if you had one in your warehouse and you wanted to put it in USPS or at your house or wherever and ship to them. So do a removal order back to that influencer or a bunch of influencers so they can get that product in hand. All right. I'm a brand owner reaching out to influencers. Based on your 10 plus years of experience doing this, what are some of the biggest mistakes that you have seen brands make when trying to work with an influencer?
I've gone over a lot of them, but I definitely want to reiterate them, because I think a lot of times people think influencers don't work because they're not doing it correctly. I would say looking for people who just have large followings, regardless of if they're a good fit for you or regardless of engagement, is definitely a mistake. So there are a lot of people who do have fake followers out there, or who just aren't as engaging as people who may be smaller or maybe the same size. I would also look for somebody who's a natural fit with your brand. Again, don't try to force it. Really try to make this a natural relationship for the both of you, and make it a great co-branding experience for the both of you. I would say too, being cheap with your product or not sending products. That's a big thing too, where, I'll definitely lose interest if somebody is, sending me a picture being like, hey, can you repost this picture, without sending me a product or giving me any value or any reason to be interested in the product. So yeah, the not sending products is something I see a lot. So that's definitely a big thing.
Okay. So those are the big ones. I feel like we've hit those. That's awesome. What would you say that I had a bunch of questions? Oh, you mentioned earlier before we got on live that a lot of influencers will actually create content for you. So even if I don't have amazing pictures, if I send them a sample, a lot of times the influencers will line up a model, if it's women's fashion, a model, and put the pictures together because they want the highest ROI through their affiliate commission or whatever. So for their time. So a lot of times they will actually create content for you. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean that's what fashion bloggers do all the time for different brands. They want to show their own street style. They want to model the clothes. Home bloggers do it all the time too. We want to create That's, why you become an influencer. You love doing this. You love creating original, high quality content, and why not do it with the brands you love? So instead, it's another reason to look at influencers that aren't necessarily the biggest influencers, but have awesome content that you want to repost on your channels. Even if they don't have a huge following, they're not getting a lot of eyeballs on their photos. If that's content that you want to repost, that is an awesome partnership to have right there.
That's awesome. So I never would have anticipated they would actually put content together for me. I would have guessed I would have had to do the videos and the storytelling and the pictures and photos and everything. But if they'll do it for me, that makes it a whole lot easier, which is freaking awesome.
And that's why you should also send them product, just as a way to, say thank you for your time. It shouldn't just, it does take, if you're paying them or not, it is an investment of their time. They are finding a photographer to take awesome pictures of them. And you also, this is another great word of advice for building your brand. You also want to be investing in your own social channels so that, you have a large following that you can offer these influencers. And, when somebody if a brand I work with has a really large following on Instagram, I'm going to do everything I can to get on their Instagram and get my photos reposted on there and get myself mentioned, because I know that I'm going to get more followers out of that.
Sure.
So we want to be doing.
So we've got 3 questions from John. Let me see if I can show all of them. Wow, it just crushed our faces. All right. So what exactly do have the influencers do? Video interview your product? Yes, John, what she just covered, yes. And I think that the channel that they're going to put that information on is going to vary based on the influencer. Some of them it's just Twitter, some it's just Insta, some it's Facebook, some it's their blogs, some it's going to be YouTube. Vicky, would you say that's accurate? That it just kind of varies by the influencer of where they're going to share that stuff? And not just the influencer, but probably the category of the product.
Yeah,
right?
I would say that's definitely accurate. I would also say for YouTube is awesome. There are some awesome influencers on there, but I would tell you that a lot of them are paid influencers, and so on YouTube it is very, very difficult to just be giving product to people. So a lot of those influencers do expect money, just because video production is very costly and time consuming. So it is a lot more difficult to get the more organic type influencers on YouTube.
So I've got a question now that just popped up in my head.
Yeah.
Will influencers often run paid ads for my product? So if you're an influencer, will you run Facebook ads, and will you run YouTube ads, and will you run Instagram ads for my product?
I would if you paid for it.
So if I wanted you to run ads, you would expect me to pay for the ad spend, right? Because you can't pay for ads and cover any profit with your affiliate commission, correct?
Correct. But a lot of that strategy, I see that a lot turned around a lot, where a company will come to an influencer and be like, look, I can't pay you, but if you take pictures, I will put this into my paid campaigns on Instagram and tag you. So that gets a lot of influencers really excited, because they're going to get more followers on Instagram, and that's a huge thing right now.
Okay, so huge tip. I'm glad I asked that question. Offer to run paid ads that are linking back, or that are at least mentioning the influencer, because now your paid ads will get the influencer more traffic. So even if it's not a direct relationship between the influencer selling your product, you're going to run your ads anyways, and you might get traction on your ads based on the influencer. So if you can tie over and promise to run those ads, which will get the influencer more followers, then it's kind of a good relationship. I would have never thought about that. I'm glad I asked that question. So I hope y'all are taking notes. Offer to include the influencers into paid ads that you're already running, and you can get them a little more excited. All right. So back to John. Do you have these influencers run contests, or just review a product when they're promoting your product?
You definitely can have them run contests. I would say just promote the product and have them promote it more than once. I'm not a huge fan of contests. I do find that contests tend to attract a lot of people that aren't really passionate about your products, but just kind of want something for free. I'm personally not a huge fan of contests. I do think they can work in some cases, but it wouldn't be my go-to. I would definitely try to come up with a plan with them where you can promote it more, where they can promote it more than once. whether you're doing paid or unpaid influencers. Because I think when their audience has seen something a few times, that's kind of when it clicks, rather than just doing it one time and hoping that something clicks.
And that's not terribly difficult for the influencer because they do most of the work up front just for the first time they run it or they push it out. The other times just repeat. So asking them to do 3 or 4 pushes is not that big of a deal because as long as they do it once, the work's already done, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So this next one, I'm going to try to answer. John says, where do the influencers direct people to go? Do the influencers send them to a landing page to get a coupon code or such to capture emails? Or do the brand influencers basically send the traffic directly to Amazon? Ideally, I'd like to get a customer's email first. So I'm going to try to answer this. And Vicky, you tell me if I'm wrong.
Sure.
John, great question. We want to capture those folks. Okay. If all you have is an Amazon product, the blogger or the influencer is probably not going to set up a landing page or anything robust like that, because that's just more work for them. They can just send them directly to your Amazon listing where you will get or where they'll get paid. So what I would do probably is I reach out to an influencer and say, hey, I want you to promote this product, but send the traffic to my, let's say, Shopify site. That's one of the easiest ones. And I can set up Shopify with an affiliate just like I would have on Amazon, right, Vicky?
I believe you can.
I'm certain you can.
Yeah.
So I'll say yes. So John, what I would do is even if all my product was in FBA, I can set up my Shopify to fulfill from FBA. So I would just have my Shopify website, and don't do this, guys. Don't set up a Shopify site if you have one product, because people go to your Shopify page. It looks super janky. It looks unprofessional. Wait till you have a catalog of maybe 10 products in a similar niche where you actually have a somewhat professional looking product or website. One of my real good friends, Joe Roosterfin, claims the magic number is 18 to have a catalog worth building a website and pushing traffic to it, but we'll say 10. All right. So, John, if you set up a Shopify site, you can get a affiliate plugin for your Shopify site that any of these bloggers or brand influencers can use. But if they come to your Shopify site, then you capture them, not only capture their email when they purchase, but you can set up like Facebook pixels and you can actually cookie them up for yourself. That way you can run ads to your cookied visitors and all that stuff. There's a lot more you can do than just capture their emails, which is really, really awesome. But then, like I said, you don't have to be fulfilling orders out of your garage or out of your warehouse. That can fulfill from FBA. So I think that was a good answer. Do you have anything to refute that answer, Vicky, from your point of view?
No.
Does that sound good?
I love that answer.
Yay! All right. So, Vicky, I think we've covered everything that we were going to talk about. Is there anything else any other pieces of wisdom that you would like to impart on our listeners, specifically related to, hey, you guys are Amazon sellers, brand builders, product sellers, and you want to use influencers? Is there anything that we haven't touched on that you'd like to share?
Yeah, I would say start small and then go big. Just get your feet wet, work with a few influencers that you think are a good fit for your product, and try to build relationships. It's just like with your suppliers. Your influencers are just like your suppliers. Build those relationships.
Awesome. Well, I think that about covers it. Unless anybody throws up a last minute question, Brandon, cookie him up. I love that's great. Thank you, Brandon. So if we don't have any other questions, I guess we will sign off. Vicky, what is your blogging in your website if anybody wants to reach out to you?
You can check me out at aspiringsocialite.com, and you can follow me on Instagram at aspiringsocialite.
Aspiringsocialite.com. Guys, if you're selling a hooded baby towel or a garlic press, don't reach out to Vicky. But Vicky, you specifically are influencing brands in the niche of now you're getting a little like bridal stuff, but mostly like women's fashion, right?
Yeah, women's fashion and lifestyle. Yeah.
Okay, but I'm sure that everything we've talked about can be used with any type of influencer. So awesome information. Where was I looking at? Oh, John, another good question. Do you use their review in your marketing? Crap. Yeah, I would. If you can get your influencer who is maybe known in that niche or something to actually talk about your stuff, crap, yeah, man, I'll take a screenshot of that and I'll actually load that screenshot as one of my Amazon listing images, right? Make that your 7th image, or if you have EBC, enhanced brand content, make it your 9th image, because it's all about social proof, right? If you can prove that someone with a little bit of clout or a little bit of experience or someone that's just more fashionable than you or cooler than you is talking about your product, yeah, people want to follow the train, right? People want to get in there and say, oh yeah, me too. So absolutely, John. I have seen that work really well, where if someone gets a shout out on Insta or something, they will actually screenshot that and put it as an Amazon listing image. I don't know if that's against term service. I don't think it is, because no one's ever talked about it, but cool little tip. All right, Vicky from Payability and the aspiringsocialite.com. Did you like that? The old Yahoo thing? I appreciate you being on, guys. Thanks for listening. Hey, if you're listening to this, share it to groups, share it to pages, share it to wherever the crap you want to that, this might bring some value to. If you like what we're doing, go on YouTube and just look me up. Find me on YouTube, Tim Jordan. You'll see my little bearded, ugly mug pop up. You can find me and subscribe to that channel, guys, because we do a ton of this stuff, whether it's podcasts or BeLives or just videos, and that all goes on YouTube. Subscribe to that channel and you get notifications. Vicky, I've got my man Eric out here in the office recording all of this, and he's going to turn this into a YouTube video too. So guys, check it out. And if you're interested in joining our community, Vicky, I know you're already in it, but any listeners, if you're interested in joining our community, go to the Private Label Legion Facebook page, and there's also a group. It's just Private Label Legion or the Private Label Legion group. Ask to join that group and get involved. A lot of the people that are making comments here that are following are part of that group, and it's an awesome community that's getting really seriously ramped up now with hardcore entrepreneurs that understand that we are not Amazon sellers. We are product sellers that also use Amazon as a platform. And Vicky, I appreciate you being on. Piece of information like what you're giving to us, nobody else is really talking about in this space. And I learned a lot from this. I'm going to get you, I'm going to make you regurgitate this information 2 or 3 times this year to different people. This is freaking awesome. You got a question. How can we contact her? The aspiringsocialite.com, right? Isn't that it?
Aspiring Socialite.
Just aspiringsocialite.com. Look her up. And then you're also on Instagram. What's your little hashtag thing?
It's just at Aspiring Socialite.
Sorry, I keep cutting you off.
Aspiring Socialite. And you can also email my payability email, which is Victoria and S as in Sullivan at payability.com. Or if you want to use my Aspiring Socialite email, it's Vicky, Vicky, at aspiringsocialite.com.
Okay, so reach out to her if you have anything in her ballpark. And I will say this, I checked out your Instagram, Vicky, and you don't have a ton of followers, which you said right at the beginning doesn't matter, because you don't necessarily want an influencer with a freaking mountain of followers if it's not a targeted audience, right? So some of the best influencers for products that especially are be willing to work with new brands and smaller brands might only have 2,000 followers or 5,000 followers or 10,000 followers. But if it's a real target audience, then the ROI on your time spent with that influencer is going to be a lot higher. So awesome. Well, thank you, Vicky, again for being on. Guys, check out the YouTube channel. Get involved with the Private Label Legion on Facebook. And we're signing off. We'll talk to you guys on the next one.
Thanks.